Waco. I am your host, Debbie, here to help you get in the know about Waco. This week, I'm going to be talking about an ongoing exhibit happening all month long, and I have a special guest here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Artist Russell Campbell. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, and what brought you to Waco, or are you a Waco native?
I am a Waco native. Been here my whole life.
Wow, yeah, and so right now you have an ongoing exhibit. Tell me a little bit about it.
Like I said, I am an artist. I have an exhibit that started last week.
First Friday?
For First Friday at the Sistrunk Gallery on Washington, which is a fine art gallery. It is entitled Ohms, a showcase of sound and color.
Yeah, and so tell me a little about the sound and color aspect.
Well, I wanted to create an interactive experience for some people, just try to have a different type of art show. So I have a lot of my art on display. It's very colorful, very different art. I'm a mixed media abstract artist, so I don't really have a specific style, but a lot of people can tell something that's my art if they've known me from around here. But the exhibit, basically, you go and you see the paintings. I think I have 17 paintings hung up currently, more to come. And they all have the Spotify code that I have attached to the labels. So you can scan it with your phone, and then you can hear the song or the music that inspired the piece. So
yeah,
kind
and
of
you
an
want to tell
interactive
me
thing.
some examples of what art pieces go with what music? Or
Most people know that I'm a huge Deftones fan, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's where the title from the show came from. Ohms is an album that they just released a year ago. I really like the positivity and the message that it had with the music and stuff. So I kind of wanted to create something, since we've been kind of surrounded by COVID and the pandemic and coming out of it, and then coming back into it, and it's not going away and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to maybe create something that's a little bit more positive, colorful. Plus I have some of my other mixed media pieces in it as well. So people kind of dig that style that you blend together. So
Okay, and I know one of my favorite pieces that you have is the heart with the Waco map in it. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
that was a piece that I had seen something similar to it on an artist that I follow out of Australia, and he uses a lot of newspaper clippings of like current events, stuff like that. But I had this old map, and I was like, man, how could I incorporate this into some artwork? And I love this city. I always have. A lot of people talk crap about Waco or whatever, but I've always loved this city. And I did an anatomical heart, and the bottom half of it happens to be an old, city street map of Waco. And you can see that there's a pinpoint that I drew on there. And, I actually used some acrylic paint pens on most of the piece. And everyone's like, well, what's the significance? Where's that pinpoint at? And I was like, well, I couldn't find my street on the map that the house I grew up in. It wasn't actually on there.
Oh.
So I just put it where the old Hillcrest Hospital was, because that's
Aw.
I thought about putting it at City Hall, because that's considered,
Like the heart of downtown.
Yeah. But I mean, we, as Waco, we're the heart of Texas, so
Of
it kind of
course.
has that theme. But I really like how it turned out. It's, it's an anatomical heart, and somebody may dig it.
Yeah, I love it.
So-
It's one of my favorite pieces. What has it been like being an up-and-coming artist here in Waco?
I've been on I don't know. I feel like I've been on an upward trajectory since like 2018. Like I've learned so much. I've participated in events. I've made contacts. I've promoted myself. I've put myself out there, and I feel like my art is getting better, but I'm not to where I want to be just yet. I have goals that I want to do, and goals that I want to achieve, basically. And I'm like a sponge. I like learning all different types of mediums. Like I said, I'm a co-founder of the Goon Squad here in Waco. We're an art collective of some misfits that do some punk rock stuff, from here, and we throw some shows and stuff. But like all the guys and the girl, Rissa, what's up? Everybody in that group inspire me every day. And I'm inspired by other artists, and I just, I want to learn, different mediums. I want to learn spray paint or graffiti or murals. Murals is a big thing around here too now. Like everybody's doing huge murals, and like shout out to them for taking on a big project like that. Like kind of.
Do you have any plans to do any murals?
I may help with one, but as far as doing one like myself, I'm not comfortable enough to like take on a huge project like that.
Yeah.
You know, I need to hang out with my buddy Tim Webb and you know, guys like him and Scuba Belly and you know, Cade and a lot of people around here that just, I mean, do massive murals, and that's like, you know, that's just not really my forte at right now. But you know, hey, in a year's time, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And you got
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you have such amazing community that you've brought together, and really a family community. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't think this Goon Squad thing was, you know, I mean, I knew it was going to be cool and people would be hip to it, but I didn't think that, like, you know, it would grow into this thing to where, I mean, I have people coming up to me saying, man, that was the coolest thing I'd been to in this town for a while or whatever. And I'm just like, man, you know, and shout out to you guys, you know, we had our
Rogue
first
Media
show.
Network.
Yeah, we had our first show here, and I mean, there's like 150 people here.
Yeah, almost 200, I think.
On a Wednesday. You know, it was nuts, but I mean, it gave us all this, and it gave me a lot of energy. It gave me a lot of like pep in my step, because I was like, man, I want to do this again. I want to do this again. I want to do it bigger and better. I mean, we've got stuff that we've talked about, you know, as far as, you know, throwing shows with just bigger and better stuff, just cool stuff. But it's for us, it's probably going to remain a free event for people to come to. But we want to showcase the artist. You know, that's what it's all about, really, is showcasing the artist, or maybe showcasing a band that people don't know about later down the road. And we haven't got to that far yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and you guys just had your show One Day, so that was quite a big step.
That show at One Day was really surprising, because it was on a Saturday afternoon, you know, after the farmer's market. Like, hey, come down to the bar and like see our 7 Deadly Sins paintings. We all painted each sin. There's 7 of us, so we each took on a sin, painted and illustrated what our vision of that sin was, and put those paintings, just like actually leaned them up against the wall at One Day, and then had all these people show up, and they were just like, the cocktails, they had a specialty cocktail menu that they made for us. The bartenders collaborated with us and stuff.
That's so cool.
I heard they were fabulous. I don't drink. I had a sip of my drink, and I was like, I ended up giving it to Zach, because I was like, nope, here you go, buddy. I don't drink, so it was. I heard it was delicious. But it was a really cool event, and a really, you know, different type of thing that you don't normally see around here. So, but with this show that I've got going on now, the show at the Sister Gallery. Shout out to Susan. She's amazing. She's been an artist for, I think, 30 years, and she's been a gallery owner for the last couple of years.
And I love her new exhibit, Fields of Gold. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, wait till that exhibit is amazing. Wait till the one she's got coming up in a couple of weeks.
Is it the skulls?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and plug hers too, because her new exhibit of abstracts is going to be called Into the Mystic.
Ooh.
And I believe she's doing it in a few weeks. So I think like the day of the art walk, which is the Waco Uptown Art Walk, she has every 3rd Saturday. She's going to unveil that.
Ooh.
So my stuff's going to be up until the end of October. I'm going to bring in new pieces as I finish them and stuff like that if I feel they incorporate the exhibit. I'm also going to host other events to bring some traffic to the gallery, so people can see the art, you know, and I'm going to have them on various days. But I also want to bring in like other artists that may not necessarily find themselves in a fine art gallery, but I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I want to bring them in and just say, hey man, show up, bring your stuff. And I want to introduce, but you know, kind of like the fine art crowd to kind of like what the new kids are doing.
New age.
Yeah. The new age stuff, you know? And I mean, we may or may not have a Goon Squad
Ooh.
event pop up. That's in the works. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but, you know, I have the space for 2 months, so I really want to showcase other artists, other creatives, we've talked about having some ladies who read some cards at an event, and we're just gonna, you know, have fun with it and use the space. And I mean, it's the gallery hours, I'm not exactly 100% sure on. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, various hours. You can just check her Facebook at the Susan L. Sistrunk Fine Art Gallery on Facebook. but she will be open at certain hours, and like I'll promote events on my Facebook as well and my Instagram. But I think that it's a great time to come explore, some art. And if you don't have any clue of, what type of art you may want to have at your house, you want to start your art collection, I mean, this is a great time to talk to other artists, to talk to a gallery owner, to take measurements, do things like that, fit the space, match colors, stuff like that. Because I run into a lot of people that go, oh, I love that painting, I just don't know where I'd put it.
Yeah.
Well, let me help you figure that out, because, I mean, I think
just come in your house and
I think owning an original piece of art from a local artist is a really, really cool thing.
Support local artists.
You're not just going out to Bed Bath and Beyond or Kirkland's and buying the wall art that's on that's a print, basically. Why not own something from someone that took the time to create it? You know what I mean? And I'm having a real good time. I just, it's all positivity. Like there's no animosity or anything going on. And then the name of this show is called Ohms, and to me, it has a definition of like a mathematical term or whatever, but to me, it's more reinforcing positive into negative stuff. Like with all the pandemic and everything, it's been really doom and gloom. And, I mean, there's been so many deaths, especially around here. And I just wanted to kind of, maybe give people something different to look at. Like, hey, look over here. There's some color over here. There's some positivity, stuff like that. So that's kind of just where I go with my art,
Yeah. And what was something you would like to see more of in Waco? Especially with, COVID permitting, what are some things that you would like to do in the community?
Well, I mean, I think that, more outlets for creatives to, I mean, you guys have been amazing with hosting so many different type of events. We need more event spaces. And there are a lot that I've, found out about over the last, just couple of months, that there's different art galleries and stuff going on, or different events. And, I mean, not everything in Waco has to be the backyard. So, shout out backyard, whatever. But, I mean, guys like the Skellingtons and stuff, when they throw their markets, I mean, they're welcoming to everybody. And I think Waco needs more of that. There's not, I mean, everybody's really supportive, everybody, has their own thing going on, but everybody's always really cool. And when I have people come up to me that don't even know me and never met me before, they're like, oh, I saw your art at, wherever, or at Rogue or wherever. And I'm like, that's crazy. 3 years ago, I'm painting in my living room, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to put this, I'm never going to put this out into the world. But
look at you now.
Here I am.
Yeah.
I am, mommy.
Well, yeah. And what has your experience been as a local creative?
It's been great. I just, I have so much more I want to do, and I wish I didn't have a full-time job that I work overnight, so I sleep during the day, so I'm like a vampire. But, I wish I had more time to just, pick the brains of all the other ones that are out there doing the thing, and all I want to do is just keep moving forward. I want to keep growing, and, this is a really cool side hustle for me right now. I don't think I'm going to be quitting my job anytime soon, but I'm really enjoying it. And, now that I'm getting paid to do something I'm passionate about, like I get paid by commissions or, selling prints and stuff like that, or having this show. And I mean, all these opportunities have been coming my way, and they're just all good, and I just want to keep doing that. I want to keep going on to the next thing, and, either opening the door for other artists too, that may have been where I was 3 or 4 years ago, or, they may have been an established artist for 5 or 6 years now. They just haven't had an opportunity to showcase their talents, That's all I want to do, I'm just kind of pushing people in the right direction, along with myself. So, it's a good thing. It's networking.
Yeah, networking, exactly. And it's all about community. And speaking of the community, I normally have a shout-out section. Cool. I know this whole episode's kind of been a shout-out section, but is there anybody that you would like to promote, or anybody you would like to shout out?
First and foremost, Susan Sistrunk. She's an amazing person. I'm proud to call her a friend. She's given me this opportunity, and this has been a long time coming. We talked about this over a year ago, actually 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
When I first started doing the art walk, she was like, patting me on the back going, I like your stuff, but you're not ready yet. So it pushed me to
be ready,
to go, okay, well, what is it that she's looking for? as far as me, hosting me for 2 months in her gallery.
Exactly.
And her gallery, I don't know if you guys have been to it, but like you really do need to check it out. Just Google art galleries in Waco, and hers is the first one that pulls up.
And it's such an amazing, intimate space. It's one of a kind, honestly.
It's like a 100-year-old house that she's converted into an art gallery, and her studio's there. And I mean, she will tell you all about anything if you want to talk about, art and stuff like that. She's very, very knowledgeable. So shout out to Susan. Shout out to Rogue for giving me this opportunity to come on the podcast. Shout out to you, Debbie.
No Waco.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Goon Squad. Shout out to Skellington.
Yeah, shout out.
Just the Waco art community, man. You guys inspire the hell out of me, every day. Like I'm scrolling. I sit at work and I'm scrolling Instagram going, man, I need to, wow, how did he do that, So, I'm just inspired by a lot of artists, and I just I hope I'm still around in a couple of years, doing the thing.
And give us all your social medias where we can find you.
Facebook, Russell Campbell. That's more my personal stuff. I don't have a website or anything, but I'm on Instagram at Russtone, RUSSTONE.art, A-R-T. And Goon Squad Collective, find out whenever we're popping up doing another show. It's goon.squad.collective on Instagram as well.
All right, yeah. And is there anything else you want to share with us today?
No, not really. I'm really sleepy. I'm actually hungry. I'm going to go get some food.
Oh, yeah. Shout out.
Shout out Union Hall. What's up?
Union Hall. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Very much. Thank you, Debbie.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this week's podcast. This is your host, Debbie, signing off. Now that you know, go. Just go, Waco.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.